week, we learned how to create a repository, clone it to our local environment, and add a new file. This week, we're going to learn how to upload that file to GitHub. When we are talking about version control, we often use the terms origin and local. Origin refers to the Git repository. This would be what anyone would see if they were to go to your GitHub account. Local refers to your own computer. No one else can see what's in the files on your own computer. Today, we'll be learning the commands to see what's different between our local version and the origin version, stage and commit a local file, and push it to the origin. Let's get started. Let's start out by reviewing what we have in our GitHub repository. So we'll go to github.com, make sure you're logged in as yourself, and then go to your repository that you created called My First Repository. We'll click on that. And we can see in My First Repository, we have one file, and that is the readme.md file. Now let's go to the command line. So remember to CD to your documents folder because that's where you downloaded the repo. So now we will CD to our My First Repository folder. And now let's see what's inside this folder. So this is our local copy of the repository. So if you are in Windows, you're going to type dir. But I'm in a Mac, so I'm going to type ls. And we can see that in my local version of my repository, I've got two files, readme.md and myfirstfile.txt. And that's what you should be seeing as well. So now that we know that we've got our GitHub repo, which is referred to as the origin, that has only one file, and our local repo has two files in it, we need to add our local changes to the GitHub repo, the origin. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to type git status. And this is going to tell us what the status of our project is. So we can see that we're on the main branch. We will learn more about branches later. And we can see that we've got an untracked file. Myfirstfile.txt is an untracked file because it's in our local repository, but not in our GitHub repository. So now let's stage it. We're going to get ready to send that file to GitHub. So we're going to type git add and then the name of our file. myfirstfile.txt. Okay, doesn't look like anything happened, but if we type git status, now we'll see that our file is green, and now it's identified as a new file, and it's a file that has been staged for us to add to our GitHub repo. So the next thing we do is we do a commit message. So this is saying, yes, we really want to add this to our repo. So we're going to type git commit. Then we're going to type -m. -m just means we're going to add a commit message, and then we're going to put our message in quote marks. Usually what you'll put in here is you'll say something like, fixed the broken test or added a new test, something like that. But for right now, our commit message will be my very first commit. Okay, and then click return. Okay, now you might see a message here that says, if you want to change your name and your email, you can do that. But what you get set by default for your name and email address is completely fine. So you don't need to do anything here. And you can see right here, one file has been changed. We've had one insertion. So now we've committed that myfirstfile.txt into Git to get ready to send it to our origin, our GitHub repo. So now let's run a git status again, just to see what the status says. And it says, our branch is ahead of origin main by 1 commit. So right now, what we have in our branch, our main branch, is ahead of what GitHub has in the origin. So then the last thing we do is we type git push origin main. So what we're doing now is we are pushing our commit up to the GitHub repository. Now it's going to ask us for our passphrase. We did this last week, so let's type in the passphrase. And now it's been added. We can see that we've updated the file from our local main branch to our origin main branch. So now let's go to GitHub and see if we can see our new file there. So we'll refresh the screen. And there it is. We have committed our first file to the GitHub repository. Thanks for watching this video. If you found my training helpful, please like this video and share it with others. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single lesson. If you're enjoying Monday Morning Automation and you'd like to learn even faster, be sure to check out my book, The Complete Software Tester, which is available in Kindle and paperback on Amazon.com.